Hi, my name is Ann McNeill, the Master Builder, and I am the instructor for the McNeill Factor, a mindset for success for construction trades.
Can you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to create this course?
What inspired me to create the McNeill Factor, a mindset for success for the construction trades, is the fact that I did exactly what my parents told me to do. Go to school and get a good education and go get a good corporate job. I did that. And my husband, who also graduated from Florida Memorial, I'm a Florida Memorial graduate, an undergraduate degree in accounting, and I have a master's in finance from Barry University. So my husband has an undergraduate degree in accounting at Florida Memorial and a master's degree from Temple University. So when we moved to West Palm Beach and started working in corporate America, which is what we were taught to do, we bought our own house, our own home, and then we bought the house across the street because it went up for sale by owner. We were young, no credit, and then we bought the house down the street as we would drive out of the neighborhood we saw it went up for sale. We called the owner and told her we had no credit, could we just pay by the month? They said okay. Then we bought the house on the next street, and of course, these homes needed repairs, so we started going to the library and learning how to build from the ground up. And about 2 years into this process, I come home from work and my husband says to me, "Baby, if I had to do it all over again, I don't think I would go to college." I was shocked. I said, "You kidding me?" He said, "No." I said, "What would you do?" He said, "I would go and start a construction company. I'd go into the trades and start a construction business." He said, "Think about it. These guys, they come in here and they give us these estimates on doing these repairs." And I did the math. And he said, "What they make in a day is more than you make in what they make in an hour is more than what you make in a day. What they make in an hour is more than you make in a day." And then he said to me, "So if we did the work ourselves, the savings basically is more than you would make a year." And I kept saying, "You're kidding me." He said, "No, I did the math. I'm not kidding." So I said to him, "If that's what you think, I'll go to trade school." He started laughing. He said, "You're kidding me, right?" I said, "No." I said, "If you believe that, then I'll go to trade school." And I did. I went to trade school and I learned how to build a house from the ground up. And as I began to look at my construction career, and I began to ask the question as I hire women, black women in particular, where else can a black woman go to work and make $15, $16, $17, $18, $19, $20 an hour? She has 5 or 6 or 7 kids, single, didn't finish high school, does not have a GED. Where can she go and work and make that kind of money and not have to wait for her baby daddy? Where? Construction. On public sector jobs, a black woman, white, green, or yellow, can make that kind of money in the trades, or just as a laborer. And so as I began to look over the years at my own success in this industry, and the mindset shift is the only thing that's making a difference for me, and I began to ask, why can't it do the same for others who don't have the degrees, who don't have the debt and all of those things? And so the purpose and goal and vision of my creating this program for the McNeill Factor system for success in the construction trades, just a mindset shift, is to help individuals at any state in life, male or female, white, black, green, or yellow, to be able to have a leg up into this industry. And that is why I created this curriculum in this program.
So in terms of the curriculum, can you tell us a little bit about some of the key course material that you created and why you created it?
Well, in regards to the course material that I've created, it has actually been a 43-year journey. And I started actually with the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which basically changed my life and how I have had a mindset shift in how I view business and how I view this industry, but especially how I view myself. And so when I looked at what I'm doing and my dream to build individuals in this industry, I began to look at my areas of success. I packaged those in what I call the McNeill Factor Mastermind in a Box. And that Mastermind in a Box curriculum includes having a dream. So we start the students talking about what is it that they want in terms of money. We also talk about what are you willing to do, some kind of product or service you must sell. And that product or service is directly related to the reason that they're in the course, whether it's plumbing, electrical, or any of the trades, or just being a laborer. Then we talk about what date do they want that money by. These are called 6 keys to riches, the McNeill factor, 6 keys to riches. Then we help them understand the fact that they must have a plan of action. And the 5th step is they must create an affirmation statement. And the 6th step, they must recite it twice a day. But the very first day, we help them understand nonverbal communication, the eye contact. I have them do research on eye contact. I have them do research on that power of the handshake, nonverbal communication. And then we start the first day with the 30-second commercial. So we have each individual come to the front of the class and we practice shaking hands web to web. And then we go around to every individual in the class and we have each one critique each other. And we do that every day along with them giving that 30-second commercial to me. And then we have them give their affirmation statement every day. What this does is that it helps them to cement and visualize why they're here. So when the times get tough and rough, and they will, and I promise them that they will, because I share with them my story of struggle, stress, strain, but just perseverance and persisting with the spirit of excellence. And by giving them the point and then cementing every point with a personal story, it helps them to understand that they can too do. Because see, oftentimes people see us where we are today, but they don't see how we got here. So in giving my own testimonials and stories, and I have them share with each other their own stories, it helps them to understand how they got here, but equally as important, if not more important, how they can get to where they aspire to be with a written, documented plan of action. And then finally, I have them do what I call a personal assessment. This is a McNeill Factor document that goes over the 10 areas of their lives. This is mindset shift. I call it mental surgery because I have them assess where they are today in their spiritual, family, financial, education, health, the personal development, the recreation, the business, the career, and the civic area of their life. And by doing that, they can say, this is where I am. It's a check, yes or no, 5 pages at the beginning. And then at the end, we have them to do it again and see where they've grown. But in addition to that, finally, one of the last documents or processes or systems that we do is we have them write their obituary. And once they're able to document how they see themselves in that box, what words do they want to have said over them in the form of an obituary? We have them go to Google and research that, and then we have them write it out and then recite it in the front of the class, whether they do it or not, as a homework assignment, to actually get them to begin to speak the words, this is what I want to have said about me, this is the life I want to live, so then when I'm dead, this is what's said. We've already begun to see the vision change of how they see themselves from day one to the final day of class. And those are just some of the products and pieces and parts of the actual process.
So you invited the students to attend the NABWIC $1 billion Luncheon in Transit. Why was that important for you to have the students attend that event as your guest?
Well, in addition to owning a construction company, I'm also the founder of the National Association of Black Women in Construction. And I created a product called a $1 billion Luncheon by Industries. So each month we host a $1 billion. This is 10 months out of 12 in the year. Right now our organization is in about 15 cities, but our program is online. It's on Zoom. So each month we host a $1 billion luncheon in transportation or transit or healthcare or water utilities or facilities, 10 different areas. And so as a part of each cohort class that I've taught, I always invite the students to attend one of my $1 billion luncheons. So recently I had the students attend a $1 billion luncheon in transit where we had billions of dollars presented. We have 4 presenters, one from MARTA, which was in Atlanta, the transit agency, one from Denver Transit, one from Los Angeles, and then one from San Diego. And each of those presenters presented billions of dollars of opportunities. Now, the reason why that was important for the students to understand and to experience, they were able to learn how to network. They took their 30-second commercial. They were each in a breakout session, which they were able to connect with other people who were business owners, billion-dollar agency professionals in small groups. And each of the students were able to give their 30-second commercial in a small group of 3 to 5. That's one. The second thing they were able to do was to interact with the total group of individuals, to know, keep your camera on, eye contact, chat with people in the chat, and then connect with them to say, this is who I am, I'd like to make an appointment with you, and I'd like to add value to your organization. But equally as important, it helped them to understand, once you finish with this trade course, these companies, these agencies, I can either get a job there with these individuals, which some of them have gotten jobs, and or when I start my business, I can look to build my business to eventually work for one of these major organizations. You see, many of our participants in class come with the vision of having a greater life, a better quality of life. So they understand now that they can start as an individual, as an employee, and then eventually become an entrepreneur. And this invitation to attend the NABWIC $1 billion Luncheon in different industries helped them to see what's possible.
You mentioned some of the students. As an instructor, how have you seen transformation in the students? You've done this course a few times. Were there any stories that surprised you? Any students that surprised you? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Some of the students, actually, I would say every single student has surprised me. One of the students took the very first day, he learned how to shake hands. He learned how to have eye contact. Interestingly, he had an appointment for a job interview the following day. And he came to class before going on that interview. He practiced, he went on the interview, and they hired him on the spot. What was amazing is that the person who did the interview with him told him, he came back and reported to the class, and he said the lady told him that she has never interviewed anybody who came into the office, was very clear about what they wanted, was very clear about who they were, and as a part of his 30-second commercial, we teach all of them the last thing that they should say is, I'm here to add value to your organization. He got the job on the spot. We actually ended up having 3 students from the first set of classes to have that experience. Actually, today we had one of the students who, when he first came to class, in the first class, he sat all the way in the back and he reclined in his seat with his arms folded. 3 days later, 3 classes later, he has moved all the way to the front of the room, open arms and leaning forward. Every single person in the class commented on his growth in 3 days. And I can say that every single person in the class has had not just small amounts of growth, because when you talk about mindset shift and you can share with the person through experiential situations, through reading, and through dialoguing with other people, when you can share with them a vision of their other self, when they can see the self they saw when they were a child, the vision of becoming a business owner. We had one person in the class on yesterday, actually, when he was writing out who he wanted to be, he started out with a lot of generalities. And every time I drill down and say, okay, give us the address of the place you're going to have your business. Can you tell us the color of the truck you're going to have? And in less than 60 seconds, he was able to describe his plumbing business. He gave us an address. He told us exactly where he wanted the building. He told us the name that was going to be on the truck. And the more he talked, the more he could visualize himself. And everybody was astonished. Why? Because he started off so general in everything he said. Now he also moved to the front of the class. He moved from the middle of the class to the first seat in the first row. And so every single person in the class We can go person by person and share their actual experiences and their stories. We do the survey. We ask people to read on the very, very, very first day. We gave them so much homework we knew they were not going to be able to complete. But guess what? Some of them did not read, but one person did. He read every single chapter, did not go to sleep. I also asked them, text me when you get up. What time do you normally get up? Everybody tells what time they get up. And I tell them, if you are serious about this class, are you willing to get up a little bit earlier just to do the work? And they did. And so these are some of the actual stories, and they understand, you know what? It is possible for me to be a better blank. It is possible for me to become an electrician, to become a plumber, to become a roofer, and also to become a business person and to invest. So we've basically taken all of these areas of their lives and helped them to understand, just do just a little bit. Today, we're forming a mastermind group of accountability with all of the people in the class. Because you see, we can sit and talk about mindset shift, but from my own personal experience, if there's no accountability, we wane. If there's no accountability, we wane. For example, one of the young men in the class did not complete his survey. He did the first portion of the survey for his spiritual, but he did not answer the full page of questions for the financial. So he began to give us excuses. So I asked the class, could we let him go by? And even myself, I said, we'll give you a pass. And I looked around, everybody said we give him a pass except one person. The one person who was in the back of the room, who moved to the front, he shook his head no. I was shocked. I said, no. He said, no, I don't want to give him a pass. Why is that important? Accountability is the key to the mindset shift for success. And because that one person said no, he was not willing to give him a pass, the rest of us changed our answer and we said, no, we're not going to give you a pass. You need to do the work right now. He took the paper out and he finished the work in class and he answered all of the financial questions of the survey. Why is that important? The book Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill says you will always, when you have a mastermind group of accountability, if you have like-minded and like-spirited individuals, you're going to always have at least one person who will hold you tightly accountable to whatever you said you're going to do for yourself. You see, we didn't set the goals for the individuals. Every single person in the class set their own goals. Every single person in the class came up with the amount of money they wanted. They came up with their own date to achieve it. They came up with their own plan of action. Now, it's their goal and their desire to be held accountable to what they said. And so this is one of the best processes that I've experienced in my 40 plus years of being in the construction industry, but also as a masterminder. So those are just some examples of the successes that have been experienced in the class.
One more question.
Mm-hmm. All right, thanks.
All right, so the final question. What would you say to any organizations or schools that are thinking about bringing this mastermind in a box, a mindset for success in construction trades program?
Well, I would encourage any school, university, and
Sorry.
okay.
I'm going to start the question over.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to any organization or any school that is thinking about bringing the mastermind in a box, McNeill Factor, a mindset for success in construction trades program to their school or organization?
Well, I'd like to suggest to any school, trade school, university, or civic association or organization, or even a corporation that would like to have success among their employees, their students, or the members of their civic association, to consider utilizing the McNeill Factor Mastermind in a Box success mindset for construction trades program as a part of their organization for success for individuals and or for individuals or for groups, because it is a proven system that works if the individuals have a dream for a better quality of life and if they are willing to do the work.